So if your periods have stopped because you're through the menopause and you're at menopause or postmenopausal, hormone replacement therapy should not make your periods come back. However, occasionally that first cycle, that first month, it sometimes can trigger a period. So don't be alarmed if you haven't had a period in 5 years and you start on your bioidentical hormone replacement therapy and 2 weeks later or 3 weeks or 4 weeks later you get a period. That should be a one-time deal and it should not continue. If that happens, it's nothing to worry about. If that continues to happen, that's something that you want to let your doctor know about, because that could be an issue or not, but you definitely want to let your doctor know about it. What about if you're still getting your periods? How is hormone replacement therapy going to affect your periods? And the answer is it really shouldn't, except for that first cycle, that first month. Again, sometimes it can affect the first cycle, the first period, the first month. It can throw your period off. And sometimes you may have an abnormal period, or you may have increased bleeding, or you may skip a period. And that's not abnormal on the bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. But after that, things should go back to whatever your normal is. The other thing to remember is that if you're in the perimenopause period, one of the most common symptoms of perimenopause, of that menopause transition, is that the periods can become irregular. And so sometimes when your periods, maybe you've been on bioidentical hormones for 6 months and all of a sudden you have some irregular periods, it may not be from the hormones. It may be that's just the way your natural cycle is progressing as you enter into the menopause phase. But still, if you start getting abnormal bleeding or abnormal periods, you definitely want to let your Winona doctor know so they can help you ask some questions and make sure that this is safe and not representing a problem. Now, we use hormone replacement therapy at Winona primarily in what's called a continuous fashion, which means we want you to take the medicine every day. And the reason is you need the medicine every day. Hormone replacement therapy is very different than birth control pills in that it doesn't completely take over hormones of your body. What it does is it replaces those hormones that your ovaries aren't making as well anymore. And you still need those every day. That should not affect your periods. Some people do cyclical hormone replacement therapy. They have all kinds of crazy, schemes of ways to do this that can affect their periods. And I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think there's any advantage to it. I think it leaves you bare without hormones on days that you should have hormones and can give you more symptoms. And it's complicated and it's hard to remember how to do it. And there's really no advantage to it. So taking it every day is really the best way to do it. In the dosages that are used for hormone replacement therapy, apart from that first cycle, that first month, it really should not affect your period.